We're back. Another show of Mob Candy Magazine TV show / podcast. I got co-host Frank DiMatteo.
Hello.
Liza Galazzo.
Hello.
Mike Benson as a guest. And my favorite guest so far, Gianni Russo. You all recognize him.
Hey, Johnny. Great having you here, John.
I know you recognize him.
Oh, from that
From
magazine.
the cover of Mob Candy.
Of course.
That's for sure. You know?
Forget the Godfather.
Well, yeah.
Mob Candy magazine.
The magazine.
We knew the topic of the whole magazine was going to be the Godfather.
And the fun
You pretty much made
we
The
shot that.
Godfather,
We
in
shot
my
that
opinion.
on Garrettson Avenue, my cousin Bobby's place. Now, if you remember, we had the girl with you with the strings. Remember doing the shoot inside?
Yeah, we're going to do the puppet
There's a
thing
couple
that
pictures in
the
there.
Godfather.
Like a marionette?
We had Marionette. We had the
Oh.
girl behind you. That good-looking girl. I don't know what happened to her, but she was.
I don't know what
Yeah.
that
But
is.
you-
Many
but-
good-looking
I don't
girls
know what I
you've been
did
around.
yesterday.
Yeah, yeah, it was fun. We had him on the couch, and we had the Marionette with the strings. It
You
was
never
good.
used it, though.
There's a
And
couple
the
pictures.
inside,
Yeah,
right?
but
Yeah.
yeah. He was good. He said okay. He was really, when he shot that with him, he was okay with everything. Really good to work with. That
I'm
guy.
okay with
Really
anybody.
good work
To
with.
me, I still take it as a compliment. People want to see me or call me, talk to me.
You have the best fans. I
You
mean,
do.
I'm talking about the comment section on anything you do is hands down the most entertaining.
Right.
I mean, it's from as soon as he just says something, it's just like, and it goes all over. It's like, this guy, oh, this guy again, and it's like, oh, I love this guy. At least,
has an
it's just
aura
like,
about
it's
And he
like
gets a lot of new fans.
you've been
Yeah.
So he's
around
getting
for
new
a
fans.
long time.
No, and you know what it is too, though? I was taught by the best. Just the education I got from the Rat Pack
Alone.
with Dean and Sammy, and I was with Frank all the time. Once he found out, I met him at the Copa, finally. What happened, Carlo Gambino, I think some of your audience should know that name.
Yeah.
He sent me a transistor radio to my hospital room.
Wow.
His floor nurse, I thought Uncle Carlo was my uncle. I really thought he was an uncle because we were raised, anybody over 21, you called him aunt or uncle.
Right.
And his niece, Dolores Barone, she was a candy striper when I got there. I was there for 5 years straight.
Quarantine.
Yeah, quarantine
amazing.
in Bellevue. I was part of General Salt's vaccine experiment.
You had polio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got polio in 1949. August 7th, 1949. I'll never forget that date.
And now you're 83. And you look like you're 25.
Yeah,
Am I
wish.
crazy?
Oh, yeah.
Seriously.
I
Every
know.
time I see him,
Nice.
he
Nobody
looks
would
better
ever
and
think
better.
that this gentleman had polio.
Beautiful white teeth. I'm embarrassed
Better
of
and better he
myself.
looks every time I see him.
So Sinatra
Well,
was like your
the
best
teeth
friend.
I bought.
I know.
That's a Bentley in my mouth.
But it
Forget about
counts. It counts.
It was either buy a Bentley or these teeth.
So
Probably have
Sinatra
both.
was like one of your best friends, pretty much.
Oh, my God. Well, that's what I was saying. So I didn't know. My birthday was coming. I was getting depressed. And she brought me this radio on December 11th. That morning, I turned it on. I should keep it in the bed and keep it low, though. I turned it on. I keep hearing about this guy, Frank Sinatra. I didn't know who he was. 'Cause I was listening to Enrico Caruso because my grandmother's from Naples, and that's what we listened to every day.
Exactly.
Now, he was already doing 5 shows a day on Broadway. Humble beginnings. His mother's a barmaid. His father worked Todd Shipyard. And he inspired me. I said, wait a minute. If this guy could do it. And that's when I started getting out of bed, dragging myself along the floor. He inspired me. Spin forward 4 or 5 years. Now I'm working for Costello, who owns the Copacabana. I get there like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. There's lines outside already. I go downstairs. It's Sinatra doing a sound check for the
Robbie
night.
Saxers.
Wow.
Little girls, right?
Yeah, and he sees me, and then he goes to Jules Bordeaux, like, who's this kid? He said, no, no, no. And it's the first time I've ever heard anybody reference me like this. He said, no, that's Costello's boy. I felt like I was,
Wow.
and I just sat down then, and I listened to him sing. So I waited. He put a cigarette in his mouth. I went over. I lit it. That's when they had ashtrays and matches on every table.
Yeah.
I lit it. I said, Mr. Sinatra, I said, you saved my life. He said, how'd I do that? And I told him, I said, Mr. Gambino gave me a transistor radio for my birthday when I was 7 years old. He says, Mr. Gambino, like Carlo Gambino? I said, yeah. Okay. Well, I told them more, and I said, I listened to you, and then I had polio, and I was already there for, many years. And he said, what's your name? I said, the Kid. He said, the Kid? I says, yeah. He said, what's your real name? I said, I can't tell you that. He said, why not? I said, Mr. Costello told me not to tell anybody my name. He said, wait a minute. Mr. Gambino gave you a radio when you were 7. Now you're telling me Frank Costello told you to tell everybody it's the Kid. I says, yeah. He said, maybe I should get to know you. You sound more important than me. And we stayed friends.
Cool.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But that's what my life has been. I can't even say I tried to do this stuff. It just happened.
It fell on you.
You did almost 50 films, right?
I'm doing my 47th. He's
47, okay.
off film, 47,
Close.
which we'll
Amazing.
talk about.
He's the cursed boy who became the blessed boy.
Right.
He's just
No sign of being cursed at
complete
all
Hellish
for the last X
childhood.
amount of years.
So I never use that word cursed. To me, that's like the devil.
Well, okay.
No, I mean, I'm not saying. I'm not
Polio was your
I'm not
curse.
correcting.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but I call them obstacles. I ain't cursed.
Okay. All right. No.
God gave me these reasons. It was a learning process.
Sure,
Wasn't a
absolutely.
curse.
That's through life.
And you got a whole bunch of brands and products in like that you have, like food,
Hold on.
drink,
Oh.
wine, everything.
La Cosa Mia by Gianni. This is my clothes.
That's your clothes?
The shirt,
I,
the shoes, everything.
Serious? I gotta say,
Really?
anybody
Come on, I
who's
don't know these things. I'm supposed to know these things.
the next
I
time
don't know these things.
we have to film the next time.
We can still do
The
it.
way he walked into the room with the cane. Can I show the audience your cane?
Well, it's Gianni. We
yeah,
expect that.
please.
May I?
I have them in every
I have
color.
to say,
It's the
this
coat,
is
too.
The ultimate. It's one of my favorite things I've ever seen. And the coat, I don't know, a
Be
fur
me.
coat, real fur. Obviously, it's silly mink. Something. What is it?
No, this is no. I got full length chinchillas. I got a big fur coat in the world.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just
You
like,
know what
wait a
this
second.
cane
Me
is
when
for,
he
don't
came
you?
out of the building.
To hit
The
someone.
thing with the cane, he came
Oh.
out. I was like,
It's to hit
whoa.
someone.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's what it.
Whoa. I was like,
Yeah, it's
hello.
heavy. That.
No,
It's-
but when I first got the cane, New York Post said there must be something wrong with Gianni Russo. He's walking with a cane because it was regular length.
Right.
It's a cane. So I cut them all because I have a carry permit in three states, and I mean, anybody knows me. I've been tried on murders, but all self-defense.
Right.
So to me to have a carry permit is amazing. My lawyer called me and said, "Don't shoot anybody right now because you're going to go to jail."
Always good advice, I think.
No, well, because you're going to go to
Forever.
jail.
Yeah.
Well, no, but
Yeah,
you know what the
try
bottom
ever.
line is, though? If you assessed, like this is $1 million. This ring's $1 million.
$1 million ring.
The Pope gave me this.
Are you serious?
Pope John Paul. Now he's a saint. What's this worth today?
Oh, forget about it.
Everything
More
I
than the
wear,
million, that's for
Become
sure.
something
that's what I'm
else.
saying. So now that these rats out there, I hope you're listening. Come and get it. That's what this is for.
Well, we got people. We got people outside just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
ain't
but-
nobody taking.
No, but
your-
the bottom
Pope.
line is, I'm 4 for 4 for this. I got a jaw, 2 wrists, and a knee. You get hit with this.
Gonna hurt.
You ever hit anybody with that
Sayonara.
one right there?
I'm 4 for 4.
Wow.
If I'm gonna hit it, no. The last guy I hit the cop outside of Central Park. I was going to Central Park. 2 kids on a bike, not kids, but they were bigger kids. They said, "Hey, old man, I like your Rolex." I said, "Well, save your money, you get one." He laughed at me. And he was, I wanted to weight the biggest kid. So as soon as he put his weight on his knee to get off his bicycle,
Oh.
I full swing, I blew up his knee. He was laying on the ground. I'd rather hit you in the knee than your face.
Yeah.
Because you ain't getting up. So the cop said, Mr. Russo. I said, "Hey, stop saying my name.
Yeah.
You're going to put it on the police report." I said, "What police report? Are you crazy?" I said, "I'm getting out of here." He said, "What do you want me to do?" I said, "You want to do me a favor?" He says, "Yeah."
Get out of here too, right?
No. I said, "Wait a half hour till he bleeds out, then call the ENT."
Oh shit!
I don't
Probably
want
did, too.
witnesses.
Exactly.
I don't even like Jehovah Witnesses.
Yeah, that's right. We like no witnesses at all. Go.
You're big on jewelry, right? You're a big. I've read. I think you're a big shot in the jewelry business.
You know what the bottom line is? This is portable wealth. When I was younger, I used to have, I started a cleaning business on 47th. and I created vacuums. We only cleaned 47th Street. The gold dust and the stuff we used to buy, I used to have gold bars. Try to move a gold bar.
Right.
I could put 100 carats of diamonds in my Davidoff cigar cylinder, solid gold. I put the jacket, goes right through the airport, put it back on, I'm gone. 100 carats.
Yeah.
I'm going to carry this shit around.
It's true. It is true.
Affordable wealth.
And you were a
Well, yes.
nightclub MC, I read too?
I owned them.
You own the nightclubs.
My first nightclub, I opened the Tropicana Hotel called Tiffany's, and I had Elvis open it for me. And
Like,
then
who says that?
Where's
I had,
the one-
I had Elvis.
when you shot that
I had
guy, was it
Elvis.
in Vegas or was it?
That's Vegas.
That was Vegas when you shot that.
That's a big club. That Sinatra, Sammy Davis, and Dean opened for me.
Unbelievable.
Johnny Russo State Street. That was 10,000 square feet.
That big guy.
10 years I had it.
Talk about the gimmick. You walked up and you thought you were in an alley.
Yeah. When I took this club, I wanted to make it different. So I got all garbage containers and put it on the street. It was a side street in Vegas. I filled it with clean garbage.
Right.
And then there was no lights on the street. Every time they came and fixed, I finally called them. I said, don't fix the lights. I'm going to shoot them out anyway. I wanted to pull onto a dark street.
Right.
And it was right next to, and it was right off the strip, right next to the Hilton on Paradise. So, and not you were going to a bad neighborhood. I wanted to look like a bad neighborhood.
Right.
And I had red
Neat.
carpet from the sidewalk right out to the street. So when you pulled out, you got on a red carpet. You had to ring a bell like a speakeasy. This place was 10,000 square foot inside. But it was the gimmick of it all. Once you got in there and you opened the doors, crazy. And Frank, Dean, and
Sammy?
and Sammy was there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for nothing. And again, I had all my people on the PBX operators calling the cab companies. You won't believe it was at State Street, the new club, the Rat Pack, and that's how we did it.
Everybody was there.
I used to rob $5,000 a day from myself out of my own casino.
Come on.
A day. Figure that out. 365 days a year. How are you going to catch it? The IRS can't because it's all chips.
Okay,
They don't know what's
Right.
going on yet.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was the old days.
So,
Right.
like
Right.
you
Can't
mentioned,
steal
you
anything.
mentioned the mobsters, the wise guys, Costello and Gambino, and I know that the Buzz and everybody and stuff, you know, and there's allegations that possible that you were an associate.
It was the smartest thing. The guy who basically took me under his wing, other than my family in Sicily is there for 400 years. They run it. My uncle's still the boss down there in Sicily, Angelo Russo. But they saw something in me. They would never make me. They didn't even want me to.
They saved you.
And I didn't need to. Look what I got now.
I know.
I mean, I couldn't have these licenses.
better choice.
And every time I go for a license, and before they even open a hearing, I say, I want to approach the board, please. You're going to find out, and you pay for your own investigations. I don't know if you know that.
Right. No.
Couple of $100,000. You want a license for gambling? You pay for the investigation. So with me, they got to come here, they got to go there. They're eating on me. I don't give it, but it worked out, obviously. But the thing is that I wouldn't be. People say, "Are you connected?" I said, "No, Con Edison is. I'm not."
Right.
I don't want to be.
But you got a lot of friends.
I don't even say that. I don't like friends.
Right.
What am I gonna do with friends? Friends are a pain in the ass. No.
You had a lot of famous girlfriends, though,
Girlfriend, well, then,
right? Marilyn
Talking about a
Monroe,
pain in the
why
ass.
not? Hello, Liza Minnelli.
Liza Minnelli.
This
my
is
God.
this is the last picture of Marilyn Monroe alive. This was taken. Can you get a shot of this?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
It's right there.
Yep,
No,
we
the
have it.
bottom line is, this is the last picture of Marilyn Monroe taken. This was shot July 28, 1962. That's Sinatra, Buddy Greco, who was performing at Cal Neva. And for your audience who don't know about Cal Neva was a casino built on the California-Nevada border.
Gotcha.
And for the wise guys that came there, they stood in the California side. And at night when they wanted to go to the casino, they come out of their cabin, walk across the pool, and they're in the casino.
Wow.
But they weren't staying there. The law, we found a loophole in the law. If you want to stay in a casino in Vegas, if you're a felon, you got to register within the next 48 hours.
Oh, so they just popped back over.
They never registered. They weren't staying there.
Right.
They were staying in California. That was a different license, even.
Right.
That was the plan to when they
Yeah, we
made
built
the
it.
result. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when we did
That's
it.
the
They were
plan.
smart. They were smart those days. They were
Wow.
smart.
Unbelievable.
This girl in the middle's in big
Wow.
trouble.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
I said the girl in the middle, she's in big trouble.
Oh, yeah. So what happened, they wanted Marilyn to sleep with Bobby Kennedy or John. They were both invited. Bobby showed up. Sleep with her because the deal they made was that Joe Kennedy approached Frank Costello. He wanted his son to become president of the United States. So he said, and she said, what's in it for us? He said, well, if my son gets in, the first thing he would do is bomb Cuba and give you your casinos back. So it was a win-win.
Right.
So what I did, I was traveling all over the place. I was 17 years old.
Right.
I was doing nothing in the city anymore. I'd be going to Detroit, Cleveland, everywhere I had to
What a
go.
life, man.
New Orleans. That's how I first met Mickey Cohen in California. And they got all the culinary unions, all the mob families. And there was still a small margin. And then Chicago had to come up with like 1 million votes and got him in.
Yeah. And then she was supposed to sleep with him.
No. They never, he said, so he gets in, he's president. 1 year goes by, 2 years go by, nothing's happening. I delivered a message to Hyannisport like I did a lot of times. I used to bring envelopes to senior. And when we had something to say like this, no envelope, and then they leave the room and I would tell them. I told them a message. I said, they're going to start killing your boys next week. And I left. And he was screaming. He got into a coma and never came out of it.
Oh,
Really?
serious?
So,
You went
Imagine
crazy.
some-
father, senior.
The father.
Yeah.
God.
But he should have, in the way, you know what he did to his daughter, don't you?
No.
You
He
gave,
gave her a frontal lobotomy. He hated women. He had his daughter get a frontal lobotomy. She used to sit like this, like a vegetable.
Are you serious?
I'm dead
She
serious.
legit. He
You
legit
can't-
had it. Like the
can't-
medical industry give her
Yeah,
a
well,
lobotomy.
those days they could do what they
Yeah,
want.
they were lobotomies.
Do
all
whatever
over
you
the
want.
place.
Are you crazy?
Yeah, any
Because he
woman
ha-
that
because
went
he hated her?
sideways.
We used to get
Well,
people. No,
she
we
was
didn't
hard
want
to
him to- He
manage.
had no respect for women.
Yeah,
None.
Terrible.
Women who didn't behave.
right. They stuck an
Wow.
ice pick up their nose.
There's eyelid.
Yeah. The eyelid.
So
yeah.
they killed her?
No, they just lobotomized her.
No,
She's a
I'm
vegetable.
saying Marilyn.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, what happened was she started screaming. This is Sinatra for the people who can't see your show.
Right.
That's Sinatra sitting here.
Okay.
This is Sinatra at
Right.
the end of the day took a walk with her to tell her why she was there.
right, and they've got one of the cabins.
They got
Wired
a cabin, it's
for-
all wired.
And
Like
she's
this
being
room.
told,
Right.
"Hey, you're gonna sleep with him.
Right,
You're
and they're
gonna
going to make a
and she would
movie.
have did
They're
it.
gonna make a movie."
But she would have did it because she loved the mob. And she went, we didn't know. She started screaming and said, I want nothing to do with these Kennedys. I'm going public. She just had an abortion with Bobby's kid
Oh man.
6 weeks later, which all she ever wanted was a kid. She was going back with Joe DiMaggio because Costello hit her for a year. I used to see her every night. I used to go down and pick her up at the Lee Strasberg School on 14th Avenue and walk her back to the Waldorf. And she was about to make a movie with Frank Sinatra as a legitimate actress, not TNA.
Right.
And that's what she wanted to be. And she was going back to Joe DiMaggio to get married. That's why they said she killed herself. She was never going to
She's
kill
trying to
herself.
change her image at some.
yeah.
And she did it. 4 days later, I come back and I tell him, he's what when I said, never happened. He said, what are you talking about? She said, she's going to the press, da-da-da-da. She just aborted Bobby's kid. He said, what? I said, yeah. He said, they're going to kill her. I said, how could they kill her? She got the biggest movie in the world, Some Like It Hot. He said, I'm telling you, they're going to kill her. 4 days later, she was dead. That's why him and my good co-author here,
Yes. Yeah.
this man, James Patterson, we all know him, 67 best-selling books,
Yes.
never wrote other than novels. Our book comes out, this book. He certified everything we said in this book. And I'm talking
Amazing.
about 63 years before. He now certifies, and they have all the testimony, the police reports, the autopsy reports. Bobby Kennedy, they say it in his book, smothered her
Oh,
and
man.
killed her.
So validating everything you said,
Now,
pretty much.
hello. Now our book was going to go just to a movie.
Right.
Forget now it's going to be a blockbuster
So
movie.
this is crazy. So last episode I was telling Mike, honestly, no joke. I really feel that you're one of the best writers that I've
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that.
read. Seriously.
Yeah.
And then the collaboration between you and Gianni Russo.
Oh, forget
I didn't even believe it when he said that it was happening, and I was like, "Are you serious? This is going to be the best book."
My cousin
Look
said
at
it
the
must have
timing.
been a tough job. It's not. It was the easiest job ever. Easier than working with Frank.
It's called Untold,
You should
Untold
read it.
Tales. Untold Tales
No,
from the Hollywood
no, but-
Godfather.
Well, that was my first book.
Yeah.
Right. You know,
and the
you
podcast.
turn Johnny on. You
Okay.
say go.
Yeah, I told you.
Mafia
I said, he'll
Secrets.
tell you. He'll talk. He'll tell you.
Mafia Secrets. This is your first book.
No,
This
no.
is
No,
the one
second.
coming. This,
Hollywood got that's it. That's the new
That's-
book.
this is
No,
the
no,
new
no.
book,
Yeah.
right? Mafia Secrets.
Right.
It's right now.
Right.
In fact, if your audience could go on Amazon, they're getting it for 25% discount. I don't know how long.
Oh,
that's
during the
gonna go
holidays,
on.
25%.
Yeah. Find out who shot JFK.
But this is like
Yes.
changing history. This is not like this
I
is
know.
like unbelievable.
And just a couple of weeks ago, if you watch the current news, which people don't know, Dorothy Kilgallen, who was, the top, one of the guests of the What's My Line,
Yeah.
and she had 10 million daily circulation newspaper, her column. Dorothy Kilgallen started investigating Marilyn's death and the Kennedys.
Well,
3 years.
they opened up a lot of these documents that were sealed, right? And the Trump let
No, that's Epstein.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
you
I'm talking about JFK files.
Some
No.
of that.
There's
Some
some
of
JFK files.
Dorothy,
that they let open?
Kilgallen, though,
Yeah.
was the only person to have a one-on-one interview with Jack Ruby after he shot Oswald.
Yeah, she went to
Wow.
prison.
Wow.
And she said, I'm going to blow the roof right off this story.
This is 3 years later
And-
that they killed Marilyn.
And then she's dead.
And then they kill
Hold
her.
on, and then she's dead.
Yeah, they
Okay.
But I'm going to
She's
tell you.
coincidental.
Also in her bed
Yeah.
of suicide.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know what's so funny about this? When I was like 15 and a half, a truant officer stopped me on the street. I remember wearing Brioni suits. I got 5,000 in my pocket. He says, how old are you? I said, I'm 15 and a half. He says, how come you're not in school? I said, school? Are you out of your mind? And I knew he wasn't a cop. He was dressed in a brown
Yeah.
uniform. He was a truant officer. He says, you got to go to school till you're 16. So he writes me a ticket. I don't know what I'm going to do. I got the ticket. I'm on my way to Toots Shores. I used to go there every day, 4 o'clock. That's what Costello was. The world was there. If anybody's in town, Jackie Gleason was doing where Colbert and all that CBS studio. They used to do the Jackie Gleason show live there every day.
Same studio.
So he'd
Yeah.
be there drinking martinis, drunk out of his mind, go do a show. This guy, he was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Why I'm saying all this, I go there and I have the ticket in my hand. He says, what's that? Were you walking too fast? I didn't get the joke. How did I get a ticket?
Right.
So he says, oh, how old are you? I said, I'm 15 and a half. He said, how long are you working for me? I said, about 3 years. He said, oh, you got to go to school. He said, I'll straighten it out. So the next morning I see him. He says, tomorrow, when you're in Lindy's, upstairs above that is Wilford Academy, the hairdressers. I said, I'm no fun oak. I said, I don't want to be a hairdresser.
That's funny.
He says, just go in, sign, and walk out.
Right, so it shows you went to school.
Yeah, you did something.
That's all I do. So now I go there, the first day I go there, I look over her shoulder, there's 30, 40 little girls there. Where are you going to find 30, 40 little girls every morning, 9 o'clock? And I was already dressed to meet him at 11. I hung out there.
Right.
But again, another opportunity came. Two guys come in, two fun oaks, Mark Sinclair and Kenneth. Kenneth was the best hairdresser in the world at the time, working
Mr.
for Lily
Kenneth.
Daché.
Yeah.
I come in and they see me. They're looking for shampoo boys. So the teacher says to me, they want to hire you. You can go there. I said, well, I can only work till 11 o'clock. You know that. They said, no, they don't care because they were trying to, they thought they were going to do that.
Yeah.
Put that kumasi gum in my mouth.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
That's great.
Well, that worked out well because that was Mark Sinclair, who was Dorothy Kilgallen's hairdresser,
He
and
discovers her body.
Wow.
what happened was he used to go to her house on 68th Street, 45, 68th Street, wake her up, do her hair and everything, because to do What's My Line and all of that. Mark Sinclair found her, set up the same way Marilyn was. He found her body. Now, how you find two major people like that? I'm involved with them,
Right.
and he's involved with them.
Dead, set up the same way.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Don't sleep with the pillow.
So now I just had Dorothy Kilgallen.
We're in trouble, you know that, right? We're not getting out of here.
Yeah.
Just saying, just letting you know.
Dorothy
Now
Kilgallen
we're
was a great
acquaintances.
writer.
She was.
Yeah.
I read her stuff. Yeah.
No, but the funniest
Benson, you're
thing-
getting whacked. You know that, right?
What's that?
I said, Benson, you're getting whacked.
Well, yeah, that's what my
This
wife
book,
says.
just
yeah.
as being associated with this book.
Never happened. With us?
No, maybe with
They're
my
not-
books.
They're
Maybe
not around anymore. No,
We're
no,
very
but-
careful.
Oh, I don't know who you guys are around. But that's
We don't,
I'm not
uh,
around nobody.
we don't upset people.
Just messing around.
No, but this is why I'm saying now, if I tried to plan this, it can't happen.
Right.
Like this book came out legitimately November 25th. This book comes out a week later. The guy never wrote about, and this, why I have these pages here?
You had no idea that he was legitimizing. It
And you
just
didn't
happened.
collaborate with him in any way. This is
No
just
way.
pure coincidence.
First of all, he would never even contact me. This is
Right.
James Patterson.
Right.
He thinks
Right.
I'm a bum. Forget about it. No, that's what we're talking about now. Here, Noguchi, everybody's in this thing. And now the maid, her maid, Marilyn's maid, she was at the house. And his people, I don't know if, I'm sure they were CIA people. They said, you go to anybody, we'll kill your kids, your family, everybody. They kept her on a payroll, kept paying her. When finally they were all dead, she came out. They got her testimony that he went in there and smothered her with a pillow. I don't know how she died. He's the first person to say that Bobby absolutely smothered her to death.
Wow.
My guy, George Gallo, who I've been working with for many years, and you'll know him from Midnight Run, he's did 20 great movies.
What a good movie.
And he's been trying to do a movie on me.
Yeah.
He wrote a piece for me years ago. So we were ready to do my first book.
Any chance this going to become a movie?
This is it now.
It is.
Yes, it's happening.
Hello, what am I
Yeah.
talking about? $50 million budget. Hello?
What?
Yeah.
Well, you can't make a big movie with big stars without that kind of money.
Who plays Gianni Russo?
We don't know that.
Am I too old?
I said Leo.
Yeah.
Right, because you got to start at what age?
Young.
Well,
Leo
that's
did-
true. You
Seven.
No.
Well, you'd have to have a child actor.
Right. You're going to
No.
start at 7.
No, they're going to get a couple of people. But the guy I wanted, but we can't, let's not even talk about Cass.
Okay.
They know what they
Brad
do.
Pitt.
Any no shows?
Huh?
Any no shows? Any no show jobs for this
Yeah.
movie?
No, I'm
He just
all-
wants
You
a
wanna
few
be a
dollars.
consultant?
No, but
He
for
just-
all my friends, I'm doing a big scene because I used to stay in the Cobra all the time. A lot of my stuff that I did, like when he would go home, Costello went home every night at 10:30. Went home to his wife. Very loyal guy. So if any ladies were sitting there, like, Grace Kelly. Grace Kelly was going to Barbizon school before that. She'd come up there because they wanted Earl Wilson and all these guys to put in the columns and Dorothy Kilgallen to put who was at the Copa. So I would sit with them and act like their host, either sit with them or stand by them because she never wanted anybody join the ladies. So I'd be just
Like a chaperone.
can't sit here. Yeah. No, and hello. But I got invited to Grace Kelly's wedding. And I'm meeting Sinatra. He said, how'd you get here? I said, I knew before you.
Hey, kid.
People don't know because we had a half-hour conversation before this. If anything we talked about and everything we're talking about the show even remotely makes the and the book, I mean, this
Three-
has
3%
my honest
maybe
opinion,
we've
I feel like
touched.
I'm dying to see this movie. I cannot wait to see this movie.
It's a
It's
part of it's a part of
the
world
story.
history.
There's a
I mean,
scene
honestly,
involving the
you've
Shah's
been
wealth.
through a lot.
It's just very exciting.
In the 80, you said, I'm sorry, 83?
Yeah.
In the 83 years, you've been through a lot. A lot, meaning like I said, I didn't even know which way to go
Hold
in my
on.
research because it was like, oh my
Well,
God,
the
this-
bottom line
he
is,
touches everything.
he will tell you. Saddam Hussein, the Shah of Iran.
Before
Pablo
Saddam Hussein was a
Escobar.
bad guy.
I killed Pablo Escobar's main guy in my club in State Street.
He deserved it.
Lorenzo Moreno, oh yeah, a drug dealer. Sorry, I never killed priests or anybody like that. Everybody I've killed were pedophiles or bad people. This guy comes in my club, Steve Sharippa, who's from
Sopranos.
Sopranos,
Yeah,
yeah.
Bobby Bacala.
yeah, and Sopranos and Blue Bloods, was on my doorman. He was my doorman. He was going to University of Nevada. I hired him all. Big guy, put him in a tuxedo.
He wrote the forward for this book.
Yeah.
You believe that guy crap, man.
A good friend of mine. But the interesting thing about this guy comes in, and I knew when, I used to sit on a perch, look at different dining rooms. It was a piano bar, but it was raised about 4 feet higher. Guy comes in. I said, who's on 7? Because they were all high-end tables. He's always a guest at Caesar. I said, Caesar's picking up his check? Yeah. Load him up. Bottle of Cristal, Louis XIII. We got the caviar. He had like an $1,800 bill. About 10 minutes. He breaks the Cristal bottle and stabs his date in the face. Right in the face. I don't know what was going on. It was that fast. I said, Steve, get to 7. He said, I ain't going over there, boss. I said, what do you mean? I hired you. He said, that guy's crazy. So I go over there. I didn't know he had the neck of the bottle yet because I just wanted to get him out of here. Sirens, I could hear them already coming. I said, you hear those sirens? They're coming for you. I don't want any problems. I don't know who you are. I said, get out the back door. No, man. I said, no, man. Where are you from? That's all I heard last. He swings at me from my throat. I go back. Gives me 81 stitches. See that?
Shit.
My chin was hanging. So now I got to defuse this guy. So I said, look what you did to my shirt. I'm bleeding like a pig. This is Sea Island cotton. I waited 6 months. You screwed up my whole shirt. He's looking at me like I had 2 heads. I wanted to get my hand on my gun. I get it, I put it right between his eyes, and I let 3 go. The whole dance floor is there. 150 people like.
Holy shit, man.
And then just as he falls to the floor, they all come in, the cops. So Coots takes me right away because I'm bleeding. He takes me right down to Paradise Hospital. We get in the car, he says, and I'm wrapped up. Is what happened. I said, the guy stabs a woman. I go over there to get involved with it, and he stabbed me. He said, you didn't touch him. I said, he stabbed you. I said, no. Great. He said, then he gets on the radio. Anybody that saw it, take their names. I want everybody name. It was justifiable homicide, 30 days, walk it out. So now I'm in the hospital. And the guy comes in. I says, and he came every day. He's a good friend of mine. He says, how's everything? He says, I got good news, I got bad news. Give me the good news. Well, the guy you stabbed, he's dead. The bad news, he was an underboss for Lorenzo Morales. I mean, he's Lorenzo Morales for Pablo Escobar.
Oh boy.
It's what? So now, here's a name I'll drop on you. I call Noriega. I said, Nori,
Jesus.
he said, I'm reading all this stuff in the paper. What are you doing? I said, well, I got a problem. He says, you got a problem? I said, yeah. I know you have a problem. I said, I want to go see your friend. You want to go to Colombia? I said, yeah. I went to Bogota. The only good news, I had to meet him at his church, which I felt good about because I'm very religious. So I see this guy in church. I fly in, I take a cab to the church. I'm walking down the pews. I thought he was there alone. As I'm walking down the aisle, you can hear the pews creaking, and the guys are sitting up with rifles. I get down. As I get closer, I'm smelling flesh. He's praying and burning his fingertips. Now, I asked later on whether he was getting rid of his, a lot of guys do have fingerprints.
It's something he's going to do.
Or it's a penance. It was a penance. He's praying to this Mexican pianist, Cuban saint. And
A Santeria.
I was like,
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
Santeria.
Santeria.
That's
Yeah,
what they
Santeria,
believe in.
yeah.
And the saint, I don't know if you ever saw it.
Barbara.
Yeah, but she's
Santa
on a
Barbara.
globe. She's on a globe, and there's all people out of hell reaching for her.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's a scare. I mean, never saw a statue like that yet.
It's creepy a little bit. It's
So
scary.
so now,
But it's in a church.
yeah, it's in the church.
It depends the church, right?
It's in-
So he-
In Boca
Depends the
Town.
church.
So he says to me, "You Johnny Russo?" I said, "Yeah." That's all I remember. Next thing I remember, I wake up. I'm shackled to a chair. 3 stories down was the prison he built. Remember, he made a deal with Spain. He turned himself in, but he built his own prison in his house. His body
That was the
being
deal. He made that deal.
Yes.
And that's where I'll stay.
Yeah,
That's
I'll-
the prison in my
Yeah.
house.
You paid
yeah,
for it.
I won't leave. I believe, but everybody in Colombia lived on this guy. This guy
I did that
had-
to my wife once. She
Give
said, "Get out of
10,000.
the house." I said, "I'll live in the basement."
Yeah. No, but the bottom line is this guy took care of everybody.
Yeah, he did. He paid off everybody.
They found billions of dollars in drums yet. They're still finding money.
Yeah.
That's how much money he had. Long story short, I'm there. I don't even know how long I'm there. Next thing I see, a guy not in fatigues, army fatigues, but clean. And he has a book in his hand. And I'm looking at it, and it's The Making of the Godfather. And he says to me, "Why don't you tell me you were calling The Godfather? It's my favorite movie. Clean him up, get a doctor, and we'll have dinner together." And I'm saying to myself,
So
"Wow."
that saved you too.
I know.
That saved your life.
I know.
The Godfather. It always stems.
But you know what's so funny?
It's unbelievable.
We're sitting like where you are,
Yeah.
not far away. And he says to me, "Why would you come here?" I said, "I did my homework. You have a daughter, Gina. I have a daughter, Gia. They're the same age. You're Marielito. I heard about that. Is you're going to kill my animals, my kids, and me last. I want you to kill me. Don't touch my kids." He looked at me, got up, walked down to me, get up. I thought he was going to kill me there. He kissed me on my lips. He said, "There's very few men like us. He said, I'll take care of this." We had dinner, we talked. Now I'm very relaxed. What I'm about to tell you now, you won't believe. So I'm going to go. He said, I want you to go, but could we do me a favor, you and I? Whatever you want. You want me to wash your car now? I'm kidding with him. You know?
Yeah.
So I want you to do the same. I want to do the same scene you did with Michael at the end of the movie. I knew what scene he meant. I said, "What scene are you talking about?" "You know, when he gives you the airline ticket and that." I figured this out. He's going to whack me. So now he walks me by my arm and he puts me in the chair he's at the head of the table next to the door. And this guy's there. And I said, "You want me to write the lines?" He said, "No, I know the lines." He knew every line. He walks in, he says, "Carlo, you got to answer for Santini." And I said, "You got it all wrong, Mike. You think this fast? You did the whole scene with me."
Unbelievable.
Hands me the
Serious?
airline ticket. And I'm saying, "Oh, man,
Yeah, I'm done.
Now you're in trouble.
this is it." Now they walk me out,
With the car.
puts me into the car. As soon as I sit in the car, there's 3 or 4 of his guys in the fatigues. They said, "Hello, Carlo." And I said, "This," and they all busted out laughing. He kissed me. He said, "Get out of here."
Wow.
Oh,
That's sick.
Right, that
That's
is
sick,
sick.
man. That's sick.
It's a mind game
crazy.
too.
Yeah, yeah, it's
right?
crazy.
what?
He put you in the front seat.
Yeah, that's
Oh, no,
crazy.
you-
That
Yeah.
is unbelievable.
You can't make this
You
stuff
can't
up.
make that stuff up.
But you
That's
are like
crazy.
the epitome of silver lining. Like anything that sort of like was something happened to you, you're like, this happened to me, and like 18 blessings happened from one
You know,
thing.
hopefully you'll come see my show one time. I talk about my show, and I talk about the opportunities and obstacles in my life. That's all I've ever had, and people have taken care of me. I didn't do what I'm doing on my own.
Right.
I mean,
I don't think there were obstacles. It was like God placed you there so this could happen.
but not
Yeah.
only that, when I got there, there's Meyer Lansky, Noriega. I mean, I moved more money. I took the Shah's money, 84 million of Shah's Iran's money. Before the Khomeini came in, I flew and took the money out.
That's the final scene of the movie, the chase scene.
I mean,
There's an honest to
Hey,
goodness
people-
chase scene. First to the airport wins. or you die.
Unreal.
And we took the anchor fence down because the Khomeini guys were going before us, and our plane was already on the tarmac. I saw it. I said, make a left. I'm right. He said, there's no. I said, take the fence down. I ran. I don't know how much money. We all ran. I handed. I said, this is for you. Guy took the fence right to the gate, right to the steps were down. We were taking off as they were trying to come out to us now.
You know, this is 5 movies put into. I mean, serious. This
It
isn't
really
just
is.
one movie. This is sequel after
This
sequel.
is like Star Wars with the prequels.
Yeah.
It's the Avengers.
Listen,
the Avengers.
Can I say
Avengers
something?
of Gianni Russo.
I want to
The
be.
Avengers,
I want to be the first to say this. Again, Catholic, Christian, we believe that everything happens for a reason, right? You're here for the reason of, you're supposed to be here. You're talking about Godfather, best series.
Best movie.
And then all the things that has ever happened to him. Now he writes a book that's going to be a movie. I'm predicting this to go down in history, equivalent to The Godfather, if not better. That's honestly, that's me. I'm saying it. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. I'm telling you that again from
I get a piece of this.
everything.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, come at some level.
Do I get a piece?
Now you'll get a piece.
We're not even walking out of here. Yeah, we're not even all walking out of here. I told
Hey,
you.
listen, it's
Oh,
happened
you know
before.
what? If Johnny wins, we win.
That's true.
Were you happy with the storyline of, in The Godfather in terms of like what they gave you? I don't at the
Well,
time
no,
when it was
my-
happening.
Understand, I'm 25, 26 years of age. I already had a ton of money. My ego, all I want to do now is become an actor. I become an actor in The Godfather
Right.
with a big part.
Yeah.
I would happy if they wanted me to chew gum and walk around the set. I
You're
don't
getting
care.
lessons from Marlon Brando.
Hello.
Yeah.
And
Making your
Marlon
first
Brando was
movie
so
being The
worried because I
Godfather.
wasn't an actor. He worked with me every day on my lines.
So he taught you how to act.
Yeah. My only acting teacher was Marlon Brando. My only singing teacher was Frank Sinatra. Not too
Why,
bad.
Why do you
Who
think
could say
Marlon
that?
Brando? But why do you think he took the time to teach you, or even? I mean, this guy's up like huge,
You know why? Because this was his comeback film.
right?
And I didn't know anything about his career. I knew about him on the waterfront, those kind of movies. This was his big movie coming back. So when we had the first rehearsal, it was 119th Street, up in, Fat Tony Salerno's place. I used to go bring overnight loans up there for Costello. So I was there all the time. I got up there in the middle of the afternoon just to say hello to the guys. Danny Pagano Sr., Jr., Tony Federici, Fat Tony Salerno, they're all there, and they see me. They said, what are you doing here? I said, I'm going to do the rehearsal. Because they knew about the rehearsal. They took the back room where the Ziganet game. That's where we were going to have the rehearsal. He said, what are you going to do in The Godfather? I got a big part. He said, you're not an actor. You crazy? What bothered me, what bothered me, every time I told somebody for the 2 weeks prior, because we, now it was starting to get out, they go, says, you're not in this movie. Come on, stop. And one thing about me, my whole life is my word. I got deals or contracts. I look you in the eye, shake my hand. Once people think my word is not my bond, I'm done. So that's all I'm hearing. They said the same thing to me. So now I go into the rehearsal. Before they bring Brando out, the whole table set with food, and the cast, the main cast is there. And Coppola said, all the non-Italians watch the Italians at the table. All the Italians, we want to exaggerate your hand gestures, your eating habits, because people like Jimmy Carter was Jewish, Marlon Brando's Polish. They had 5 days to become Italian. We're going to be here for 5 days. And then they said, we're going to bring Brando in. Now, we do not want anybody to approach him, especially youth thespians. Pacino, I want to go all over this guy. So 45 minutes go by. We have a break. He comes over to me. Again, I'm wearing brownie suits. Diane Keaton looked like my gardener, filthy with their hair, the boots, and everything else. These people, these are actors. Forget about it.
They don't bathe.
No, but I wanted to see the actors I knew. James
Right.
Cagney. This guy's dressed
With
well.
the rat-
You never saw him dressed like that. So he comes to me, he says, "You're a big TV actor." No. You got a big movie coming up. No. He said, "Who'd you study with?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He says, "Did you study?" I said, "Study what?" And this, he calls Coppola over. This is Francis. This guy's playing my son-in-law. And I didn't break the script down. He said, "I know." And he rolled his eyes because he didn't cast me. Joe Colombo cast me in that movie. Because they had to straighten out Paramount. We got it done. And for that, we got the world premiere in every city. And I got this part.
Wow.
But now, I don't know
Add Joe
protocol.
Colombo to the list.
What's that?
I said, so add Joe Colombo to the list now
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the list is huge.
of all the historical.
So the
Classics.
bottom line is, I don't know protocol. I've never been on a set. I dismissed the director. I said, "Mr. Coppola, go over there a minute." And he left. Now the whole room were quiet, saying, "Who is this guy?" Because they were all dressed like bums. I'm dressed. I got 12-carat pinky ring on.
Sick.
And I wasn't supposed to talk to Brando. I put my arm around him. I said, "Come with me a minute." And I walk up to the hallway down the hall because there was no game back there. And I didn't want to embarrass him. So I got nose to nose. I said, "Mr. Brando, let me tell you something. You screwed us up." I'm cleaning it up because we're on radio. "You screwed us up for me. Listen to me clear. I will suck on your heart today. You will bleed out here today. You get me fired, you're dead."
What?
Swear to God.
Holy shit.
No, it gets better.
Yeah.
Gets
Now he steps back. He said, "That was great acting." He thought I was acting. I was ready to whack him.
Holy shit. That was
And that's
great.
how we became friends. And he said to Coppola, he's great. I don't know whether he was
I
afraid
say,
or
he's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
he-
It's good.
he's
It's
the male
crazy.
version of Nanny.
Yeah, it's
Nanny's the
cra-
same way.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You would
man.
get
Yeah.
along. You really would get along with his mom.
Yeah.
That's
How'd
cool.
you get along with Pacino on the? It
Chino's great.
was good.
Yeah. The only guy I didn't get along was Jimmy Kahn. Because most people don't know. Jimmy was supposed to play Michael.
Right, I heard that. Yeah.
He was already cast to play
Was
Michael.
it?
And Carmine Caridi was in a play called The Man from La Mancha, because he was a bigger guy. They thought he should play Sonny. Now, Francis Ford Coppola comes on. He wants Pacino. He just saw him one movie, Panic in the Park. He said, "I want this kid to be him." And now the clock was ticking. Bobby Evans, they had to go. And the last minute they said, "Okay." And Jimmy thought because I got the part and the other guy, he got the smaller part. He was out in the movie. They told me.
But Jimmy was friends with Columbo too. Was he?
Later, with Junior, later, after he
Later?
got shot.
Later.
Oh, I'll tell you a story about Junior, me, and Jimmy Kahn, Bougie DeChico, and Tommy Bellotti, all in one night. We were at Jilly's West. Remember Jilly's
Sure.
West? Oh, that story's insane. Jimmy's with Junior in the back. He comes out and he sees me. He's going to the bathroom. The bathroom's downstairs. Saw me at the bar. He didn't know who Boozy was. Boozy's the main guy in the Gambino family. That's Frankie Boy DeChico's father. You're saying, yeah, but Frankie Boy was not made. His father was.
Father
Right.
was. Yeah.
Oh, man. And I'm with Tommy Bellotti, who's my best man. And he comes out and he says, "Junior's back there with his daughter. Why don't you come back and say hello to him?" And I knew Junior a long time. Remember, Junior had that bad hand,
Mhm.
and I did too, his polio. So,
Right.
so I go over, I hug and kiss him. We're kissing, and Jimmy Kahn's like shocked the way this guy's treating me because that's all Jimmy wanted to become. He thinks he's James Caan in real life. I mean,
The
He's Sonny.
movie,
Sonny.
yeah.
He's
Sonny.
Sonny.
Sonny Corleone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with this, I said, and then I said, "Your daughter's gorgeous." Now, one thing about Junior, you could tell in 2 minutes this guy. So I used to call him the snake. His face controlled. It was his daughter. Jimmy set me up.
Yeah.
He told me it was
His
his
girlfriend.
girlfriend.
His girlfriend.
So I said, "Excuse me, June." I left. Tommy Bellotti catches me going down the bathroom. Thank God, two of Junior's guys follow me down the bathroom too. I'm at the urinal 2 seconds, and two of these guys come in. One guy blocks the door. Next thing, the guy that's blocking the door goes flying from here to here. You know, the bathroom's small. Tommy Bellotti kicks the door, gets the guy's head, smashes it. The guy's gone. I'm talking about broke his skull on the sink, down. Now he goes over, and he said, "What are you going to do now?" He said, "Well, you know, this punk being. Punk, this is like my brother." He said, "Well, he just insulted Junior. Junior's up there with his girlfriend. Well, your shit friend, let's go up there." By this time, Boosie's wondering what's going on down there. Comes down the steps. Now, Boosie's the only one that can talk to Junior. They made guys. Nobody else could talk to him. If Boosie wasn't with us, we wouldn't have this
Conversation.
be a different situation. So we go up. Boosie, he sees Boosie. Boosie says, "Let's go in the kitchen." They go in the kitchen. Next thing they call for Jimmy. "Jimmy, come in here." Junior bitch smacked them all over the kitchen. "You set this guy up. This guy's a friend of ours. He's now what? You're going to learn a lesson. You're not going to learn this in the script. From now on, you're with them." He gave Jimmy to Boosie.
Did he?
Tommy Bellotti wanted to take him out then. I said, "Tommy, we're 6 weeks into the film. We can't kill the guy."
You can't kill Sonny.
That's the only reason. That's what nobody knows this. Jimmy Kahn, I used to pee on him sometimes. He couldn't do nothing. We wanted him to. And he said, "You look at this guy cross-eyed, I'll take your eyes out. You don't know who I am." And they chased him out of the club that night.
Mike, there's a whole book on how many times his life could have been ended and did not.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? It's like,
We've been working together a long time.
Unbelievable.
Johnny's a little kid selling pens just out of the hospital with polio. He's the cripple kid. And he sells a pen to Mr. Costello.
And he never took a pen.
All right, sorry.
Wow.
Give you a
just give you the money?
$5 bill.
Yeah. Give me a $5 bill. And he walked into Sherry Netherlands for 15, 20 minutes. Come out. I didn't know what he was doing. I'm going to give him.
Yeah.
I took advantage of it. And you saw the picture. The Daily News, because ballpoint pens just came out, now they made them out of plastic, so they were affordable.
thing.
And there was no more inkwells. So I didn't know. They saw me selling them. The Daily News took a picture of me there. My business went up to the moon.
That's great.
So Frank Costello rubs his shoulder for luck.
See, Costello, I didn't know what was going on. He never took a pen, but before he left, he'd hug me. Every morning, like I said, I'd see, because Gambino, he'd stop at Ferraris. And out of respect, I always stopped in there. Sometimes he'd call me over, sometimes they didn't. Ferraris is still there. Right next to it is the religious store. It's still there. All opened in the 1800s. I still go there and get holy pictures, all that. I come out. He says, "Johnny, you're Sicilian, right?" I said, "Yeah. I'm mezzo Sicilian, I'm mezzo Napoletan." He said, "Well, I got these Lagorns. Come in, I'll show you." He showed me a Lagorn. But this one had a hunchback on top of it. It had the pepper leg, but a hunchback. I said, "What's with the hunchback?" He said, "Well, Sicilians like to touch a cripple for luck." Well, the blood drained from my face. That's what this guy was doing. That's why he never took a pen. I mean, I'd let him touch anything he wants. Give me $5, $10 a night. Every day he was coming.
Wow.
So now I'm waiting for the guy to come. I go to Canal Street, take the train up, and they're selling rabbit's feet. I bought it, 10 cents, a red rabbit's foot. I put it in my pocket. Sure enough, here comes this guy with his friend. Goes in, as he does come out, I had a good night tonight. Gives me $5, $10. Never took a pen. Always grabbed me and hugged me. So he goes to grab me and move. He looks at me. Goes to grab him again and I move. He says, "What are you doing?" I said, "Not what I'm doing." I says, "What you're doing." "What, am I a freak for you? You touch me for luck? I got you." I gave him a red rabbit's foot. This is Costello. I don't know who the guy was. And I found out Blackie was not his friend, it was his bodyguard. Says, you know who I am? I said, I don't care who you are. Don't touch me again. He said, you know who I am? I said, I don't care who you are. He said, what's your name? I told him my name. His whole demeanor changed. He said, who is it? Anthony Russo. Anthony Russo, my great uncle. When'd you see him last? I said, I never saw him. He said, why? So I'm still cocky. I don't know who the guy is. I said, well, you should tell me. Meaning you know everything, because I was pissed at the guy. I thought the guy liked me. He said, don't be a smart ass. Tell me why. I said, well, if you know him, my uncles and a couple of my other relatives, in August of 1949, were hung in Palermo. And they let them stay out there to send a message they were going to clean up Cosa Nostra. Well, we know they never did that,
Right.
but they did. But so with that said, is Blackie, take that box. I said, you can't come make my box. He takes a roll of money out. I never saw like that in my life. Gives me 3 $100 bills for $10 worth of pens. He says, now, you never beg again. Your family sent my mother and father here.
Wow. That's how you found out?
And then unbeknownst to me, he says, where do you live? I live on Mulberry Street. Which I wasn't. I was living in a bakery where I was working. I never went home after I had polio. So he goes and sees Gambino. And Gambino put the icing on the cake. He says, you don't know who this kid is? He says, no. He says, you know how he got out of the hospital? He says, no. He's killed a pedophile at 12. He says, what? Yeah. He drove a broom through him. That's how I got out of the hospital. The only reason they let me out, the state didn't want anybody to know they hired a pedophile to take care of sick kids.
Unbelievable.
That's how I got out of the hospital.
I mean, seriously, the book and the stories. I mean, you literally are a plethora of stories, and I mean, I'd love to get to all of them. We got to a lot of them. I think that we're gonna keep going after this break, but we have to take a quick break. This is
plethora of inspiration.
yeah, seriously.
Right?
Mob Candy magazine TV show. Till we get back.